Already we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from around this beautiful world, we welcome you. For those of you who are watching live, welcome. For those of you who are watching the replay, welcome. So I'm your host, Karen Chuck. I am currently streaming from Hong Kong. I'm visiting my family here. I'm a global digital business mentor. Very pleased to host this 𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶 Decides Global live chat series. Today we have a wonderful guest here. Her name is 𝗕𝗲cie. 𝗕𝗲cie is a successful hotel manager. She's got a great story to share with us. And I'm going to pass the mic over to 𝗕𝗲cie to introduce a little bit about herself, like what her background is, and then we'll let you hear the wonderful insights that she has for us. Over to you, 𝗕𝗲cie.
Thank you, Karen. Happy New Year again. Happy Chinese New Year to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, who is listening. I am 𝗕𝗲cie Paredes, and I am currently in Minnesota, USA. I'm originally from Philippines, and then I'm currently working as a hotel manager right now. So I've been in the hospitality industry for more than 15 years, basically since I started working. This is where my industry is. I started working as a sales executive, and then all the way to front desk manager, sales manager, and a hotel manager. I love working in the hospitality industry is because I love meeting a lot of people, all walks of life, and every time that we have a group or event, it is very inspiring for people that you touch their lives and you've been part of their lives to make it easy for them for those events um, that they're trying to plan, like a wedding, parties. I've witnessed like 80 years old birthday parties for their parents. And what I like most is that when the smile in their faces after the event is really priceless. And by the way, I am from originally from the Philippines. I just came here in the US 2019. So yeah, that's about.
Wow, that's amazing. How many years have you been in the hotel industry, hospitality?
I would say about like 20 plus years. Yeah.
Wow. So you've
Yes, yes.
been in the hotel or hospitality industry for 20 plus years. You look so young. Did you start when you were two?
That's what they
Wow.
always tell. I'll give that. I take that. I always take that.
Yes, receive
Asians
it,
look
right?
younger.
Receive the blessing. Yes. And you must really enjoy this industry if you've been there for 20 plus years, right? And you
Yeah.
mentioned that you enjoy because you see all walks of life, you see the joy on people's faces, you see people celebrating special events and festivities. Now, that part we can understand because you've stayed there for 20 plus years. What if we asked you right off the bat, what are some of the things that you may not enjoy as much, even though this industry led you to stay in for 20 plus years?
Yes, I would definitely say, and most people who work in the hospitality industry will agree with me, is working long hours.
Mm,
Yes. And then, of course, being a manager, if somebody will call off for because they are sick, their family is sick, and there are moments that you cannot, there are people that is also not available. So you really have to step up as a manager and you have to um, take the shift no matter what happened. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And you mentioned you work long hours. Can you give the global audience a sense of what does long hours mean?
Yeah, so when I was starting, I would definitely work. 10 hours. So regular hours would just be 8 hours. But sometimes, depending how 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 booked full the hotel is, it's going to take you 10 hours because you cannot just get out there and, leave your colleague when they are drowning with a lot
Mhm.
of people. And then sometimes I actually work when I was still a front desk manager. I actually work two shifts. So that would mean like 16 hours. And sometimes there are instances you work from 3 to 11 and then you have to go back at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
Let's just pause and let the audience sink in a little bit. We're talking about straight 16 hours
Hmm.
nonstop. And was it because of your choice, or was it because of lack of staffing, unexpected scenarios? What was the reason for having to work 16 hours straight?
Yes, I would say lack of staffing and people sometimes life happens to them as well. They got sick, they have to go to the hospital, and other staff can't just make it to their shift. And so, like I said, you just have to step up.
So I mean, I've always been in leadership positions, teaching hospital startup and corporate Fortune 10. So I totally get it. But for those of our viewers who may not be as familiar with like management leadership
Mhm.
responsibilities, think about the lack of resources while you still have to keep up with the business. So in this case, the hotel is
Mhm.
lack on backup staffing, but you still have
Exactly.
guests, clients coming in. So what do you do? What do you do right now? What happens if 𝗕𝗲 is also sick? 𝗕𝗲 is not able to step up. Then what happens? What's the safety net like?
The safety net will be you have to call another manager. It doesn't mean if they are from housekeeping. It doesn't mean if they're from banquet. Yeah, someone just have to really step up and
So
help out whichever they can help.
So we have this saying, all hands on deck. But when there are
Exactly.
no hands, who can put the hands on the deck? Like not the hotel owner for sure.
Yeah.
So then it would be the handful of people who are available, so to speak, even though they're not supposed to be on shift or on schedule. Now, what
Mhm.
happens if someone's scheduled for a vacation? They're the only manager on roster, and they're
Mhm.
scheduled to go fly out to their uh, well-deserved family vacation. What happens there?
Sometimes they cancel their vacation.
No way.
Definitely. Yes.
I'm saying no way because that's exactly what happened to my past experience too.
Yeah, it
Hospital,
happened.
all that. And it's so true because we're put like leaders are put in a highly responsible position. You
Mhm.
can't just kind of hide away from the problem or the challenges. You have to keep up with everything. And I remember back in the days, like when I see, like, at the teaching hospital, because I'm a registered pharmacist in Canada. So I would check prescriptions because we stack up all the prescription in basket. I see a stack of baskets, and this is already like late at night, and I don't want my staff to be coming in the morning and see this overwhelming number of baskets. So I work close to the hospital. I'm like, you know what? I told my husband, you know what? Let me just stay behind and then just check as many as I can. And
Mhm.
then I won't even submit overtime because I'm like, you know what? Hospital is funded by the government is paid by taxpayer. You know what? I'll just donate and volunteer my time. And that's how loving, caring, responsible a lot of us are. We give the society our all, and with the thinking, knowing that, whatever we could contribute, contribute. But on the
Yes.
flip side, when you do 16 hours, what happened to your family? Maybe you did. I don't know if you mentioned about your family, how many kids you have, and I think you need to share with the audience about that
Yeah.
aspect.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot to share. So
I'm
I have
curious.
one son. He is 5 year old now, and of course, my husband is here with me. So my husband works at night. He's working at night. And so what happened if I work in 16, I have to make sure that, it's sometimes if I would say yes that I can work 16 hours if I know my husband will be here for my son. Otherwise, I don't know. It hasn't happened that I have to bring my son to sleep there, but there was one not sleep overnight, but it has happened not too long ago. I have to bring him because nobody's working the 3 to 11 shift in the at the front desk, and I have to bring him with me. Again, I have to step up and bring my child with me, and it's a Sunday. So Sunday should be, it's a family day. Unfortunately, my husband is also working, and so um, I have to bring him with me. I have to bring him some stuff to work with.
Right. Yeah.
So while I'm working, and while I'm working, he's there roaming around at the front desk. But what can you do, right?
Yeah,
But
and it's not like you could put your son into the hotel's daycare, right?
yeah, yeah, no, no.
And has your son ever, what's your son's name?
Kyle.
Kyle? Has
Mhm.
Kyle ever complained to you, Mom, I don't want to be here. I want to go play in the playground or whatever he might have in mind?
The best part is he actually loved, I don't know, just because he just loved being with me,
Yes.
but I've brought him a couple of times, but I think he's amazed like how I do my job, and he knew my colleagues. And
Mm,
so every time I tell him, hey, tomorrow I might, because I say I might, because I might find somebody else to work. But if not, I told him I might bring you to work, and he's happy about it. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to God that he's happy about it. He's
mhm,
excited. Like I think he's
mhm.
excited to meet, and not to really meet people, but to see me like talking to people. So yeah.
Yeah. But from a mom's perspective, when you're working and Kyle is like running around in the lobby, wouldn't that be distractive to you? Because at the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I'm worried about my son, but I'm worried about my work. Psychological impact, like.
Oh yeah. It does. It does, of course. I just have to make sure that at least I can see him every time I work. And then, some other guest actually gets fond of him. So instead of, why there's kid roaming around here, and I tell him, that's actually my son, and sorry, I have to bring him. Someone called off. I don't have anybody else but myself, and they're very, very respectful and very understanding. Instead, they talk to him. He's like, you're doing a good job, you're with your mom. So,
Uh,
and it's nice to have a glimpse for the kids, like, how our daily work go, because at least they can, at a young age, they will be able to see this is work. This is
mhm.
how my parents work. And so at times when we get home, amazingly, he will ask me, Mom, how's your work? Did you get a lot of calls today? Did you talk to a lot of people? So yeah.
What you just shared gave me an image in my head. There are two questions I wanted to ask you. First is that, it's great that you've got clients who are very supportive, positive, and loving, and interact with Kyle. But were there any that were so not nice and expect no kids in the hotel's area and kind of behave negatively?
So far none. So far
That's
none.
good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
far none. They are just because I think for most of us, I believe, for a certain time, it happened that you just have to bring your son. There
Hmm.
is, or your kid with you. There are
Hmm.
just instances that you have to do what you have to do, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
But who's like, you're the hotel manager? Who's your boss?
My boss is my general manager next to me.
And then who's
Yeah.
the boss of general manager?
The owner.
Oh, okay. So you're 2 levels down.
Yeah.
So let's say if you for some reason couldn't hold the forks, would the general manager step up and hold the forks?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They
And
do. And even
what
the
if both
owner.
of you? What if both of you? Oh, so the owner would also step
Yes.
in.
Yeah,
And what if
exactly.
all 3 of you for some reason couldn't step in? Then what happened?
What we will call our our
French.
subordinates. Yeah, we will call our
Hmm.
subordinates just to have at least a help. Yeah.
Like the
Mm-hmm.
bare minimum staffing support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
previously you mentioned about how Kyle was able to observe how you work. So can you describe to the global audience how your typical day or week look like behind the scene as a hotel manager?
Yeah. So in the morning, what we do is we oversee the hotel, of course, and we'll check all the reports, what happened after you left the hotel in the evening, and see if we have complaint, check if we need some other stuff that we need to attend to. Sometimes might either be housekeeping concern, might either be maintenance or the restaurant concerns, and so and check all the arrivals and see if we have some guests who have been at the hotel, a regular guest or platinum guest, and then make some contracts late in the afternoon. And mostly I handle group bookings and some wedding groups as well. And answering the phone calls. That's basically it.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being highly rigid, 0 being highly unpredictable, what would
Hmm.
you what would you score your daily hotel manager responsibility at?
I would say between 7 and 8, because
Okay,
every
so
day
yeah.
it's actually, yeah, if you can, some people might think it's a routine job, but it's not. Um,
Mhm,
every
mhm,
day is exciting day. You
mhm.
wouldn't, you thought you're expecting to be maybe, oh, it's a smooth, smooth flow. We're gonna be busy. We're ready. But when the day comes, there, when it rains, it pours. That's what they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And lots of moving pieces that are unexpectable. You just have to
There is.
improvise and deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
pivot, right? You know,
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I always think of how do we prepare for contingency plan, right? So let's say for some odd reason, combination of traffic, weather, snow, whatever, you're it. Like you're the only lady on site, so you have to do one lady band. Have you ever done that? Like you have to go change the bed sheet, you have to go cover the front, you have to deal with grumbling customers.
Um, I have not, but there were instances, like I said, as a manager, you have to step up. Like there was instances that I was helping the housekeeper to strip the beds,
Yeah.
just because we don't have enough. We are booked full. And we don't have enough housekeeper, so
Mhm.
we were like they were just in the morning briefing. That's their concern right away, so all the managers were like on deck. Okay, we'll help the housekeeper. This is the only um focus for the morning, is for them to keep up, because we have to make sure that by 4 p.m. our guests will be able to check in on time. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so important because again, the underlying theme is that you have to keep up with the operations no matter what,
It
right? And
is.
which means that all of your staff would have to learn from A to Z in case of emergency support, right? No,
Yes.
nobody can just focus on one niche of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it sounds like, as you mentioned, you've been in this industry for 20 plus years. So clearly you enjoy it. Clearly you've learned a lot from it. Clearly you're a highly responsible person. That's why you're where you are. So then you're pretty stable. You're pretty happy. Why did you explore and end up becoming a global digital business owner?
Yeah,
Maybe our audience would be interested in learning about that.
definitely, definitely. Because as an immigrant, I started here 2019, and so that you can see that there is an option for you, because most people, I would say, of course, would ask yourself that, do you really want to be, you know, working for other people for the rest of your life until you retire, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, of course, what actually make me think of it is when I had my son. So when I
Mm-hmm.
had my son, I wanted to be with him all throughout the journey, especially now that this is his formative years. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if you think of it, working long hours right now is not even an option for you. And then you will have to think about your son. And so I kind of like in the middle of, do you just want to work or you want to spend time? Because like they always say, when they grow up, it's just so fast, right? Time flies, and then you'll never see that, they're probably teenager. You'll never see that they're about to leave your house already, because they're already, what, 18, 21-year olds. So I wanted to spend my time, those core moments, with him. And so I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to think of an option on, while while I can also help my husband for
Mm-hmm.
our financial needs, I
Mm-hmm.
can also be there for my son. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I would say all of us were taught, you know what, just work, 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 work till retirement, 65. Then you get to live. Then
Yes.
you get to spend time with your loved ones. Then everything will be rosy. So,
Hmm.
so you're no exception. You were taught to follow the traditional path. So you mentioned, that you want more time, you want to support family on that, but there has to be one strong pain point, because in as humans we have uh, this tendency to run away from pain,
Yes.
right? We also have the tendency to avoid um, stepping into new zones of unknown, because we like to stay inside the comfort zone. So if you had to label or identify one key pain point that really pushed you to step outside your comfort zone and do something that is new, what would you say that pain point to be?
I would say that there was instance that my son would ask me if I can stay at home.
Hmm.
And I would say also that there are times that, it's the mom guilt. Like when he say, "Oh, mom, can I play with you?" And I would say, maybe later, in a
Hmm.
moment. That
Hmm.
really pains me. So that is when I realize that, what am I really doing?
Yeah.
I have my son. I prayed for this, but
Hmm.
then I could not really spend or give him that time that he really
Hmm.
wants for me. So yeah,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
is really my pain point.
I think all of us as working moms have experienced that. And it's just a matter of time if our kids don't get any positive response, and they'll learn not to ask from their heart anymore. And that's the part
Mhm.
that hurts so much, right? And I think COVID really changed our mindset a lot. You never know what tomorrow is going to bring. So, do we really have tomorrow? And are we able to do things now in preparation for what we wanted to experience or achieve, right? Now, there are a couple of questions that's coming through my head. As a busy working mom, a busy, successful hotel manager, how could you possibly have more time to take on another venture, global digital business? We'll talk about how you explore and found and land on this, but what was going through your head?
Um, what is going through my head is that, there should be a way for us to, you know, there is a way for us to spend time, but still making money while we're taking care of your family, and not worrying about, financial, like our bills. It's natural. So that's basically where I was been thinking, that if I see somebody that, that is making money at their home and spending time with their kids, their loved ones, and then there is a way. There is also a way. Yeah.
So maybe for the global audience to understand further, um, you were able to witness testimonials from other working moms or stay-home moms who's able to generate income and be able to enjoy the best of both worlds, their family as well as helping family for financial support, right?
Mhm.
And when you saw that, um, what was this what was running through your head about time management? Because as I mentioned earlier, you work busy schedule.
Mhm.
You have, yeah. So how did you convince yourself to make it happen?
So, um, I've seen this. So for everybody who haven't known this story, I've seen this in one of my feeds in the Facebook. So there was a lady, actually my coach and mentor right now. She is working as a cleaner for the houses, and she hasn't been here. She only been here for in the US for like, going on 2 or 3 years. And then she was posting about, she quit her job, and then she was showing, how much she earned for one day, and that she was earning while she was cleaning for a month. So basically she earned one day the amount of money that she was working for a month daily for cleaning houses. So now she is a stay-at-home mom. So at first I'm kind of, is it really possible, and then every time it goes to my feed, so I kind of get me curious, like, okay, what is she really doing? How can she manage to now be quit her job? She just got here in the US. And and for most immigrant, normally you would think that two job for your for as a husband and wife is enough, but practically speaking, it's not that enough for
Mhm.
everyone. And so I got curious. I messaged her, hey, I wanna know what are you doing? How do you do this? And then I think what get me into is the system that's in place. Um, she mentioned we have a system. It's a 24/7 automated system that will help you succeed. Um, the mentorship, the community is really warmth, and it's global. And so even if you're a busy mom, you can also do this. Like I said, it's working in the background, it's structured. So with all of that, and seeing what she has acquired right now, and her other mentors and coaches have acquired for a very short span of time, that's where I get to, okay, I will see, and I'm curious, I'll jump in. So that's where it happened. That's where it leads me. And like I said, I was already looking for an option on how I can manage to still help my husband financially and be with my son. So I was looking for an options for me to do that. So
Hmm. Hmm.
yes.
And then some of our viewers might be questioning, well, how could you just watch some sort of social media feed and start chatting with a stranger and trust that stranger? Can
Mhm.
you share your thought process?
Yeah, so of course I did the due diligence. She asked me to watch this webinar video. I watch it, and then there is so much for that. She told me that's not about it. There is more into it. So I get more curious. I dive in, watch everything, how the system works, how people, how a lot of people change their lives with the system in place, how they manage to, be traveling and come back with their checks.
Hmm.
um, and I've also talked to some other people that is connected to her just to make sure, this is not a scam. And
Hmm.
so, little by little, you will see, and you can even tell if people are true to you. You can tell if they're telling truth or not.
Hmm.
And so, yep, and it says it's globally. I've not only one person, but two, three people I've reached out and just to check that this is a legit option for
Hmm.
everybody, for moms, for
Hmm.
BC moms, immigrant moms. So I've talked to one of them there was in Canada, in US, there's one in Switzerland. So you can tell that it's really global, and you can hear their testimonies that it's really working for them and it changed their lives.
Yes, yes, indeed. And how did your husband react to it when you found this opportunity or before you even start this opportunity?
My husband has been really, really supportive for me, because
Hmm.
with him, he would always tell me, yes, why not? If you can just stay at home, why not?
That's so
So
amazing.
he's very, very supportive, I would say. He will just ask, how are you going to do it? How are you going to manage your time? I said, if there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. Yes.
I do this after I put my son to bed. And
Hmm.
like I said, with, of course, when I did the training, and then everything, because it's a step by steps training, and then now that I have everything in place, it running in the background 24/7, so now it's easier for us that's in here, because even though you're sleeping, even though you have you're working still, you can still, your business is still running at the background. So there is a lot of opportunity for this business. If you will tell yourself, oh, I'm ready to have 4 kids, I have my 9 to 5 job. um, that's what my thought is too when I first joined. But in my mind, then, if you get curious how are they doing it, then if there is a way for other people, then there is a way for you too. There are just also regular people, that they do their work, their mom, that has been doing this and it's working for them. So if it's work for them, it's going to work for you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm going to be asking you, and for those of you who's watching live or tuning in through the replay, a lot of these questions, actually, most of them, they're questions that just pop inside my head. So I'm asking 𝗕𝗓𝗃, and she's sharing authentically. This is no filter, not scripted, just so you guys know, because we wanted to share with everyone that there's a better way. There's better way of living life, and there's better way of generating income for not just yourself, your family, but for generations to come. Because in the typical working environment, when you stop working, whether as an employee or if you're a small business owner, when you stop working, you stop earning, right? Here, 𝗕𝗓𝗃 mentioned about the automated system. It works when we put it into work. Even when I mean, right now I'm visiting my parents and siblings in Hong Kong. It's still running behind the scene for me because I've put in the setup that allows me to reap the reward along the way. And yes, I'm receiving high ticket commissions while visiting my parents and siblings in Hong Kong. And we're not talking about low margin. We're talking about very lucrative, high margin commission. In US or North American currency, we're talking about 4-figure in just one check. So that's like 5-figure in Hong Kong dollars. In Philippine, I don't know how that's converted to, if it's 4-figure US to Philippine currency. But we're talking about big vision, big business, not just like $10 per commission. Because a lot of people are like, oh, how much could you earn? Because people would probably relate online business with Amazon, for example. Amazon is highly competitive, and you're not just competing with people in your country, you're competing with everybody around the world, right? So for example, Asia, the cost of production is really low, so you can't really compete in terms of getting a high margin. So you're probably earning a few bucks here and there. And then not to mention, like, there's also logistical challenges. You have to deal with supplier quality, reassurance, you have to deal with customers. Like, there's just so much, right? So in this business, we don't deal with products. We don't deal with inventory management. We don't deal with customers. And that's what caught my attention. What we do is we leverage an automated proven system that works for us 24/7. So this is a very ingenious business model. It's also, the compensation model is mind-blowing. I work for Fortune 10 as a leader, like VP, and I've never seen, like, I'm very humbly sharing, I'm very good in looking at business models, what is good, what is not good. This one is amazing because it enables all who's got the desire to thrive without sacrificing extra time to really earn the deservable income in a flexible way. Now, 𝗕𝗓𝗃, our global audience might probably ask, okay, so you don't deal with products, you don't deal with customers, so what do you do again? So do you want to elaborate? I know you mentioned it earlier, but maybe you can elaborate, and I will also chime in afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. So I help people, busy moms, hotelier workers, and immigrant workers, to have an option for you to earn money online. So with a proven system, a step-by-step training, our mentorship, and our global community. So we have 250,000 people. That's more than 250,000 people that's here in this business that will help you step by step along the way to really succeed in your business. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, well said, well said. There's so much to be shared, and that's why our automated system also include information that allows anyone who's curious, like 𝗕𝗓𝗃, to watch at their own pace, because we don't want to spend extra time sharing information that requires serious entrepreneurs or serious moms, serious future business owners to learn about this business. A very good analogy is that when there's a great movie out there, you watch the trailer and then you watch the whole movie. We're here to share with you the trailer highlights. You got to go watch the full movie yourself to understand the ins and outs, because we're not here to sell the movie. We're here to share with you the opportunity so that you can do due diligence, right? And only you
Yes.
can decide whether it's for you or not, because not every movie is for everybody, right? Some prefer comedy, other prefers horror movie, I'm more of a comedy person. I don't like to watch horror movies. So you got to do your own research, right? And if you're like, you know what, this is really for me, then you'll be able to take the next steps and follow the instructions along the way. Now, Tessie, when you first started this business, what did you have in mind? Like, how much did you want to earn in order to make this worth?
Um, I would say at least 10,000 monthly US
Yeah,
dollars. Yeah,
yeah,
it is with all the people that I've seen, I think it's
that's fair.
actually that's fair. Yeah.
That's
If
actually
you
on the
really,
low end. That's actually
yeah,
on the
that
low.
is in the low end, like I said,
Yeah,
but my vision is actually earning 30,000 US dollar per month.
yeah,
But it's like I said, that would be when I go on full board.
yeah,
But
yes.
I can already see the vision
Mhm.
that I am going on that end as soon as I go full board. So, like I
Yes,
said, this is just 10,000 is only probably
part time.
just the beginning. Yeah, the being a part time, and as a beginner of this business, it's you can easily get that as long as you put your heart in it, you put your hard work, and you follow the system, and you believe the process. It will lead you to what you think or you want to make out of it.
Yes, yes. And the the important thing is to be coachable, be willing to learn, be
Hmm.
able to adapt within a proven structure system, right? Because we're not doing things on our own. We have a proven blueprint to follow. So it's a matter of how coachable you are and then how willing are you to take the next steps, right? And there's so much that we could share. I mean, for all of us who's been taught the old way of doing things, there has to be the willingness to grow. There's growth mindset, there's curiosity mindset. If we have that, then we'll be able to receive new information. If we're not open and receptive to learn new things, then we're our own self barrier, right?
Hmm.
um, the other thing that's important to know, especially for hardworking professionals, is that this is a taxable business, because
Yes.
any any country that you reside in, you receive a tax receipt so that
Hmm.
you can claim your business expense, anything that you need to spend to run this business, and then use it for your legitimate benefits. Let's put it that way. You can consult your professional accountant and let your
Hmm.
accountant do the math for you, because in Canada, and I'm sure in the States too, the more income you generate, the more taxes you have to
Thanks.
pay. Yes, we pay our good share of taxes, but when you run a business, you have legitimate business expenses you can write off. And oftentimes, a lot of our global digital business partners are surprised by the legitimate returns that we get back. So,
Exactly.
keep that in mind. And also, when Tessie mentioned about 10 grand, we're talking about North American currency. So in her US, that would be US 10 grand per month. And this is only talking about the commission. We haven't even talked about the fixed income. That's
Hmm.
part of this amazing business opportunity. Fixed incomes, in the sense that for those of you who work hard all the way to 65 and wishing for that pension, that's fixed income. You get it no matter what. You get it no matter what. That sink in for a bit. When you have like the traditional way of working, you worked all the way to 65. What happens is that physically, mentally, emotionally, we may not be at the best stage or
Hmm.
best state to use that pension. The second thing is that pension may not be keeping up with cost of living, right? Inflation, all of that. But here, you're able to generate not just this lucrative commission, but fixed income in the long run. And then we'll be able to scale it. And that's why the potential earning is so amazing. It's uncapped. There's no fixed income. I'm sure when you work for a hotel as a manager, there's the salary range
That's
that
cap. Yeah.
that's cap, right? So no matter how hard you work, no matter how many
Exactly.
years you work, you are capped at X, right? And here
Mhm.
there's no cap. That's the beauty, right? And we're partner with globally established partners who's been on this global platform for like 50 plus years, highly reputable, highly established, and they handle everything. We don't handle anything. And this digital way of managing our business in an automated way has been about 10 years. So you're still new in the game. And if you are someone who's looking for more choices, more flexibility, more time freedom, more time with your loved ones, then you gotta find out more about it. Whether or not this movie is for you or not, you need to know about it. At least when your friends talked about it, you're like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, right? And don't be left behind. Just like AI, right? AI is here to stay. You got to know about it, all right?
Mhm.
And I'm an accredited AI consultant as well. So we've shared a lot with our global audience. There's just so much, and what we wanted to say is that there's a better way. If you're looking, and if your desire tells you that I deserve more, this is for you. Now, Tessie, you mentioned that when you saw the social media feed, you did your due diligence, which
Mhm.
include watching the complimentary webinar, which include paying the 149. So I'm going to walk through that step by step for a global audience, so then they can mark this down and follow through. So the first thing is that if you watch this live stream through Tessie, you can go to her website. It's noted below her name. Go to her website. If you saw this live chat through my page, you can go to my website. And once you go to our website, you'll be able to register your email, and the email will give you a free access to watch introductory and foundational webinar about
Mhm.
what this global digital business opportunity is about. And once you've watched that, if it resonates with you, the next steps is that you can pay a US dollar $149 to gain VIP pass to behind the scenes to learn more details about this proven business system and the amazing compensation model. Now, for the compensation model, I highly recommend everyone who's new to watch it a couple of times, because it's a new concept. And that was a concept that caught my attention, because the mathematical calculation of the compensation is so mind blowing. You're not talking about one single transaction gives you a lucrative return. We're talking
Mhm.
about again, I'm going to keep it as that secret sauce that you need to find out yourself. And once you've watched that, the 149 VIP behind the scene pass will also give you access to our private community, the Facebook private community, that right now I believe we have 275,000 plus people from around the world who's part of this
Yes.
community. And that tells you a lot, because everyone is looking for a better way. And we already got like more than quarter of a million people in the community. And then once you've watched through all the step-by-step information, you see people's testimonials, real life stories, and all of that, then you have the option to schedule a coaching call with our seasoned coach to look at, what's the best business startup package for you. There's a wide range of business startup package that you can choose from. Both Tessie and I have a very strong vision, so we chose the one that I call as the rocket, because you can always swim over to the other side of the ocean. You can swim over, you can roll your boat over, you can have a jet boat, but we chose the rocket ship. So then we get there faster.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the closest analogy. And then once you've decided that, then you'll be given all the elements to help support you scale an established global digital business, automated system, all of that. And the
Mhm.
mentorship that Tessie mentioned about is for a lifetime. You don't pay an extra dime for that. And you'll be part of this growing, thriving, booming community, which we help one another to share the opportunity with other. So that's how simple it is. But you need to do your due diligence yourself. You need to find out
Mhm.
how amazing it is. You need to find out whether or not this aligns with you. Because if you say, you know, I think I'm good. I'm just gonna work till 65, then eat off my pension. That's fine for me. Then this is not for you. But if you're
Mhm.
someone looking for choices, looking for more time, more presence with your loved ones, looking for this bigger dream to be materialized, then you need to find out more. Until then, 𝗕𝗓cie, myself, we're very, very grateful for, because we both are Christians. We believe in God, and we're very grateful that God shared this opportunity with us. And we know that everything happened for a reason. It was no accident that your global audience, watched this
Mhm.
video, or live or a replay. So don't take it for granted. Be sensitive to divinely sent signal that's come your way. And yeah, I think that's all that we can share, 𝗕𝗓cie. It's been a pleasure having you on my global live chat series, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And for those of you who've got further questions, feel free to DM me or 𝗕𝗓cie. We'll be happy to address them for you. Until then, dream big and live big. You deserve it.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you,
Please stay
guys.
please stay behind the stage, 𝗕𝗓cie.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, guys, for listening and for tuning in.
Thank you.
God bless everyone.
God bless.